When you look at the smile in the faces of your loved ones, you'll automatically feel happy. At the same time, when you come to know you are the reason for their smile and happiness, you'll not only feel happy, you will experience a feeling that cannot be explained. From this moment, you don't need to speak everything that you know, but you need to know before you speak what you're going to speak. And after that, these 4 factors has to be in that conversation or in communication. So for communication, we have 4 factors or 4C. What you convey is not important. How you convey is most important than what you convey. That has to be given the highest importance. That is more important than what you convey. So it has to have that courtesy. Once you decide this, this courtesy cannot be matched with any possible power. Because when there is courtesy, the opposite person wants to listen, feels that he is respected. You ask yourself, what am I speaking and why am I speaking this? Sometimes you start something and you end in something. You want to speak about the academy, and finally you go back to something which is totally not relevant to the situation, and you keep pestering your children or your loved one without knowing that you're doing it. So I hope from this moment you will be the hope for other people to create hope in them. And once this kind of communication starts in the world, everybody will start seeing transformation. Maybe not immediately, definitely. You're not just a human being. You are the only being who have an ability to even think about God. Forget about accepting God. Forget about realizing God. To think about God. Let us make it very simple, at the same time very effective. Because only when it is simple and effective, it is called the best of the best communication. And you want it or not, from the beginning, even without your intention, there is something in which you are trained is called communication. I will not use the word language, because language you need to take self-effort to master yourself. Be it Tamil, Sanskrit, Hindi, language can be mastered only with your own self-effort. Nobody can help you to master the language. But you can be aware about one thing, before even you learn the language, you learn the communication. So I'm not going to focus on language here. Whatever may be your language, it can be Hindi, it can be English, it can be Tamil, it can be Sanskrit, or it can even be Japanese, Mandarin, whatever, or Malay, whichever language you speak, I want you to make it a simple effort that you take for yourself. Am I making it very clear? I want you to make it a simple effort which you are going to take it for yourself to bring changes to your entire living. I'll give this as a reason. Why should I take effort to master my communication? Very simple. See, you are a human being. I'm not telling that you should be a spiritual person, or you should be a religious person, or you should be an intellectual person. If you are a human being, by nature God has blessed you with a quality which you are not aware about. When your loved ones are happy, or when you see your loved ones smiling and having a happy life, for no reason you will feel happy about your own self. No animals have this beautiful quality. Your son is enjoying a good life, or your wife is enjoying a good health, or your parents are living a good life, or your friends is living a good life, or when somebody is smiling and somebody is happy, people, those are related to you at least. In the present world, not everybody is happy when you know that everybody is happy. If your loved ones are happy, you are blessed with a very basic nature by birth, not that you need to create it. When you know that someone that you know or someone you love is living a very peaceful and happy life, or when you look at the smile in the faces of your loved ones, you'll automatically feel happy. At the same time, when you come to know you are the reason for their smile and happiness, you'll not only feel happy, you will experience a feeling that cannot be explained. That cannot be explained. So for that reason, I need to take effort to understand these 4 parameters in communication before I speak to anyone. From this moment, you don't need to speak everything that you know, but you need to know before you speak what you're going to speak. And after that, these 4 factors has to be in that conversation or in communication. So for communication, we have 4 factors or 4C. The first C, it's called care. Every animal is blessed with the basic knowledge to protect themselves, or basic intelligence to find their own, prey, and to prevent themselves or protect themselves from the predator. right from the cat to the elephant, right from the small bacteria to the biggest beast that is available. But we as a human being, we share knowledge only using communication. So I'm not entering this part. I'm entering the very basic part. Say for example, you are a family of 4. I mean, considering on a positive side, because in present world, 2 people living together itself has become a joint family. So you belong to a family where 4 people are living together. Actually, each of us spend time not more than 2 hours. See, I'm talking about the research that is happening in social psychology. Because your children is going to go to school, your husband or your spouse is going to, your wife or husband or spouse is going to go to work. So the real interaction or communication happens only for 1 hour or maximum 2 hours. Actually, that is a false statement, not more than 20 to 30 minutes if you really sit and think. So in that very few minutes or in the very few hours, it is my duty to realize my presence has to create happiness for others. For that, all that I need to do is not pray to God or have that intention, positive thinking. Make sure that when you speak to someone, they feel that you're really concerned about them. This is the second point. So what are the 4 C factors involved in communication? Communication starts with the letter C, and the 4 factors also start with the letter C. So first is care. The first C stands for care. The second C stands for concern. Because everybody will speak with care. Be careful, don't eat this. Avoid using mobile phone. Don't go to that place. But do you really mean it? That concern has to be there. Because only when there is a concern, now you will automatically speak with the third C element, courtesy. Because most of the time to your loved one, you're talking with care and concern. But they are not able to feel it because there is no courtesy when you speak. What you convey is not important. How you convey is most important than what you convey. That has to be given the highest importance. That is more important than what you convey. So it has to have that courtesy. Once you decide this, see, this courtesy cannot be matched with any possible power. Because when there is courtesy, the opposite person wants to listen, feels that he is respected. So even when somebody has committed a mistake, it is okay to talk with care and concern. Because you don't want them to repeat the mistake, so that you actually prevent them from the damage that they are supposed to go through. But when courtesy is involved, they will feel, protected. So what are the 4 C factors? First, it has to be with care. Make sure I'm talking this because I really care for you. Because I'm concerned about your future. Not only that when you're happy, I'll feel happy, but when I know that you're not going to be happy, that will make me unhappy in the present situation itself. Only parents know this. When they feel that something that children is involved in, and that because of doing something that the children is going to suffer in the future, which they alone, aware about it, even though the child is enjoying what he's doing in the present moment, but they will not be happy when they come to know about it. So your care is real. Your concern is real, but speak that with courtesy. A simple formula. When you want to be right or when you want to be kind, choose to be kind. Automatically that will be right. So what is the third factor? First C is for care, second C is for concern, and the third C is for courtesy. And finally, most of the parents that I have seen are really good in all these 3. Care, concern, and courtesy. In fact, they give more courtesy, but they have no clarity. This is not only with, with your loved one. Even in any human communication in the present world, they are well trained to speak with, hilarity. A lot of jokes, unwanted humors. It's good. They're very best in speaking. They're very best in expressing with more hilarity and alacrity. But there is no clarity. There is no clarity. So I want you to personally connect with this. So in communication, from now, I want to make sure that I will be clear with these 4 factors before I speak. First is care, second is concern, and the third one is courtesy. The fourth one is clarity. When you have all these 4 factors taken care, you want it or not, the person with whom you speak will have confidence. You don't need to command them, but God promises you one thing. In your communication, if all the 4 elements, care, concern, courtesy, and clarity is there, automatically your word will have command. You don't need to command them with the word. Able to get this? Churn upon it. Think about it. Your word will have command. You don't need to use the commanding words. Because anything that you interact, say for example, I'm interacting with a mission. It is only instruction. They don't give you a communication manual. It is an instruction manual. Then I interact with animals. With a plant, it is all automatically going to express. But with an animal, like a pet animal, you train them with a command and later on you interact them with emotion. Not every dog is close to you. Only your dog is a pet to you. That's the reason you say it's a pet animal. It is not pet to everyone. Your pet is your pet. From that there is an emotion which will start happening. They will understand even without you communicate. But when it comes to a human being, it is not operating only with instruction. It is not operating only with command and emotion. It is operating with care, concern and courtesy. Along with it, please make sure you speak with clarity. You ask yourself, what am I speaking and why am I speaking this? Sometimes you start something and you end in something. You want to speak about the academy and finally you go back to something which is totally not relevant to the situation and you keep pestering your children or your loved one without knowing that you're doing it. So stick on to it. Let me have clarity. And with this clarity, I'm going to have all the three factors: care, concern and courtesy. And speak it with clarity. The people with you will feel confident and your word will have command. Once the confidence and command is automatically satisfied, you want it or not, your purpose is solved. They will not only listen to you, they will long to listen to you. They will long to listen to you. I want you to understand this. I personally want you to realize this. Because when you speak in this way, you will be a hope to the person who has lost his hope in life. In fact, who has decided to finish his life. But when you speak with this way, with care, concern, courtesy, and finally with clarity, they will feel confidence about their own self. Please understand, I don't want anybody to feel confident about you. Sometimes they will do that. But our job is to create confidence for them about their own self. And that will happen. When you do this, you're not only, mastering your communication, you have mastered the art of creating hope for other human beings. Knowingly, unknowingly. So understand this. So I hope from this moment, you will be the hope for other people to create hope in them. And once this kind of communication starts in the world, everybody will start seeing transformation. Maybe not immediately, but definitely. You get this? Maybe not immediately and definitely. How do you know this, Guruji? How do you say it is definitely will happen? Because I know about the power of God. I know about the power of God's creation. I know about the best of the best creation in God's creation. And that is you. And that is you. You want to accept it or not, you're not just a human being. You are the only being who have an ability to even think about God. Forget about accepting God. Forget about realizing God. I'm not talking about be a religious person. You can be non-religious or non-spiritual, spiritual, whatever. But I want you to be righteous. I want you to live a life of what? Righteousness. A very virtuous and righteousness. That is the value of our existence. That is the value of our presence. These four factors will make others feel valuable for your presence. Let me repeat it again. If I'm actually not forcing you to live a religious life or a spiritual life, let me make it very upfront. You be non-spiritual, rather being religious and spiritual and creating, pain for others through communication, or even non-spiritual, your choice. Because when you satisfy this quality, you want it or not, you're the most spiritual person available. There is a value in you. So think about it. My presence will create value for others. I am not only valuable, when I speak in this way, my presence will create value for others. Value for others. So I want you to value yourself and start making these changes, and you want it or not, we will create a most valuable humanity which we can never imagine. And we will do it for sure. And we are doing it for sure. Aham Brahmasmi.